It's pumpkin spice.
Orange soda.
I don't know. I'm just...
Oh.
It's that time of year.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to NIBScast episode 32. I am one of your hosts, Aaron Lamping, joined as always by no one. Everybody else I'm typically with is gone. Instead, I am joined by a room full of fill-in heroes. Matt Slade.
Yes, I'm here.
Josh Hancock.
Go B team.
And Derek Ragsdale, who we dragged out of retirement.
Hi.
Derek, I appreciate... I think you've been on the show more since you quit it than like those last weeks leading up to you just being done.
Probably. I think so.
We were telling Matt Check the other week. I said something like, joined as always by Matt Check, and the typical, except for last week, came up. And somebody mentioned, it's like, Derek still has better, who's not on the show anymore, still has better attendance on the show than you do.
It's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Just padding those meters.
I know.
That was a good discussion last week.
So what's going on, guys? It's good to see you. Thank you for filling in.
No problem.
We've been playing some games.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't play video games. What are you guys talking about?
I wish I had time.
So,
Cursed work.
all right. Before we get into the news, today's shot, it's called a lot of things. I like the name Rum Job. It is half Captain Morgan's, which I don't have, so Admiral Nelson, and half Sunkissed.
Ooh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Very good.
It's all right. I like to mix it on the weaker side.
Yeah.
When I have the whole drink, but I figured
Now,
for the shot.
if you put like vanilla vodka in it, it'll taste like a dreamsicle.
We need to go get vanilla vodka. Why didn't you bring any?
Because I don't have vanilla vodka.
It's probably a good excuse.
I mean, you could have told me. I would have stopped by the store and picked up a bottle.
Maybe if your life had microtransactions in it.
Oh,
No.
Is that a segue?
Segue into the news! Destiny.
Now microtransactions for real life, like don't go to work, pay like $5. I'd be paying $5 all the time and still be employed and make money. There you go.
So Destiny's getting microtransactions to kick off the news. It's coming to the game October 13th, so probably by the time you're listening to this. And silver is the currency, apparently. Silver. Because,
Because in the space age, we
Screw
still
bloomer.
use silver,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Well, we depleted the gold by then,
Yeah.
so...
So they also said people that play between now and December will receive free silver. Ooh.
I wonder if it's enough to get anything.
No.
Yeah, like
Probably not.
like, oh, free silver, we'll give you 1 free silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything costs 5.
So the only thing...
And you can only buy it in bundles of 7.
So the only thing coming to the game right now that uses silver are emotes. So it's not like anything
No,
that affects
yeah.
the game.
It's
so
good.
like new dances, like maybe you'll moon somebody, pat each other on the butt.
If they keep it similar to that, where it's stuff like with what WoW does, they've got the microtransactions, but they don't actually do any. Well, I guess now they have gold. So, but before, when it was just like mounts or pets or things like that, that's fine. It's if they start going into
Pay to win?
Yeah, like you can just buy all of the things you need now to do whatever you need to do.
I don't think it'll ever turn to that, though, for Destiny, just because they seem to be going, and I mean, they've always kind of been this way, they want you to play a ton in order to get a bunch of stuff.
That's my only hint of optimism, is I don't think the developers are that stupid.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what concerned me at first. I'm glad once I kept reading and found out it was just emotes, but like when I read microtransactions, I'm like, really? You guys just got this much momentum going for your game, which is now phenomenal. Like, it is the game everybody was looking for, I
Yeah.
think.
I
I
think
mean,
it's really
probably
good.
still probably not as populated in the world as people would have liked, but like they wanted quest NPCs out just on the Dreadnought or something. Still don't have that, but the game, great.
Oh, yeah.
And then I read this and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna grind it to a halt.
I did read an article that certain people who have done the raids in the dungeons and have not played MMOs before are pissed that they have to do it multiple times to get the good gear. That they don't like drop it.
And you see, actually,
They don't even know.
What's funny about that too is like, my group's not through the raid yet. We made some good progress. We got a late start. We probably would have cleared it the other week had we started on time. No biggie. But one of our raiders, Shane, love you, Shane. He's always like, God, it just took us so long. I'm like, that took us 5 tries, and he's like, yeah, that was so long. I'm like, Shane, I come from World of Warcraft, where you spend like 4 weeks working on one boss and you like it.
Someone needs to get that kid Super Meat Boy.
Ugh.
No, someone needs to
We
get
don't
that
want
kid
him
to level up a character in SWTOR and fight Saw.
Oh God, no.
We don't want him to kill himself.
I wonder if that fight works yet. If you play SWTOR,
Yes,
still.
please let us know if SOA has actually been fixed.
I hope not. That
Like-
was the difficulty of it.
You know, yeah.
That was the curveball you had to deal with after you learned the fight.
There's been like,
But
they're coming out with another digital expansion.
It would be nice if the curveball had been consistent. Like, it just changed every week. Like, okay, we finally got this mechanic done. Oh, wait, no, they broke it in a different way
Yeah,
this time.
exactly.
the floor's not here
Kept
this
us coming
week.
back.
There's 12 balls this week. Oh, the tank got imprisoned this week. Have fun with that one.
Yeah,
That was the worst one, probably.
it was the worst.
It really was. Especially since, like, there was no way or you couldn't taunt.
Yeah, no,
So
you
the
can't
off-tank-
taunt him in that phase.
And the off-tank couldn't generate threat, because the only way to generate threat was to get hit, so... Terrible.
Anyway, back to the Destiny news. Bungie did say that if this works out well, it will allow the live team to provide a better experience and perhaps lead to more frequent content updates.
Yeah, I think that goes back to a discussion we had like a couple months ago about microtransactions, like helping to pay for other content in the game, and
Yeah.
them saying flat out that this is what it will be going to it's a good sign, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they're going to want to come up with some way of continuing to fund the game, because since it's not subscription-based, you know, eventually that purchase install rate will drop significantly, so they have to have some way of making up more income to continue to develop the game.
Now, what they could do is do like what some Kickstarter people do, is like have, this is what we want to do with the game, and if you help us with these microtransactions, here's the like percentage of completion that everything is at.
So they'll actually show you.
Yeah, because that's what Reddit did with its daily gold meters. People were all like, yeah, we know this is going towards helping you, but how much do you need a day? And then they added the meter and people bought gold more.
I mean, the only thing that for an ongoing game like that I feel would be kind of sticky is then at some point they're going to want to make like an expansion or a DLC, and then they'll be like, well, if we need this much money to be able to make this content, and then turn around and try to sell you the content, which is what they're ideally probably going to want to do, then that's where they're going to get...
Well, and I think
A lot
that's
of crap.
what it will do. They said it's for the live team, so it's
Right.
going to be like, it's going to be your smaller stuff, not like big content dumps like the Taken King was.
Right, but I'm saying, like, if they set up a system like Matt was talking about, as far as, like, okay, if you have this, give us this much money, we'll be able to do this, then some people would probably misconstrue that if they come around and say, like, well, we've got this massive patch that we want to, or expansion that we want to do, and then try to charge for
Kind
it.
of like a give us this much
Almost
money
like
so
you're
we
paying
can
for it
start.
twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give us this much money so we can start working on it, and then we'll sell it to you when we're done.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
And-
that's good. It's going for the live team.
Yeah,
then.
if it's going for the live team, that's great. But I would be wary of setting up a goal system because of that.
So it sounds like we're all okay with this. Just don't go down that slippery slope to by the year 2 Gallahorn.
Yeah, it'll be something to keep an eye on. I mean, I think they're, like I said, I think they're smart enough to not go that route, but
It's a free-to-play slippery slope.
I think they've probably seen what happens to those who try to go down that route, and
Pay us weekly
It
to
doesn't
do
work.
dungeons.
Let's hope somebody's paid attention to the failures in the market.
yeah.
Failures of SWTOR's free-to-play plan.
I mean, it's still chugging along.
Yes, it is.
Much less than chugging. Yeah. Coughing.
Like the thing is just
Crawling.
It's just sitting there like, kill me.
Yeah.
Well,
Kill me.
I kind of wonder. I haven't looked into it. I kind of wonder if they finally have done a server consolidation, because I kind of want to log onto the server and see like no one in the game at all.
I think
Like,
I
the
said
4
this-
people.
I think I said this in recent weeks, but it's like when Star Wars Galaxies kids are mad at your game, you
Yeah.
probably screwed up.
It was fun at first.
Yeah.
Speaking of Star Wars,
At first.
real fast, John Williams is getting the 44th American Film Institute's Lifetime Achievement Award
Oh.
for his music and film scores.
Nice.
is the highest award that the AFI issues.
I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Well, Star Wars took place a long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Speaking of things that took place a long time ago, not far, far away, Far Cry Primal was announced.
That game looks good.
Ubisoft Montreal's next Far Cry game is a Stone Age set in 100,000 BC.
10,000 BC.
10,000? Okay.
Yeah.
And is an open world game coming to PS4 and Xbox One on February 23rd, 2016, the same day as Deus Ex and Mirror's Edge, and to PC later in March.
That's fine.
As long as they get the port right.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm still not convinced this game's gonna come out, but we'll talk about that in a second. Like it'll come out, but not that time. Anyway, you will play as a seasoned hunter with the last few members of your surviving clan. To survive in Oros, which I'm guessing what they're calling Earth here, players will craft weaponry, hunt for food, master fire, and fight off against fierce predators and other tribes members. There is a trailer that shows up like some made-up language in the game, and you battle with a woolly mammoth. So yeah, you watched? Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah.
I
thought it was pretty cool concept because I didn't play Far Cry 4. I played Far Cry 3, and it was a good game until the ending, and that was fucking stupid. But taking away the guns, taking away the vehicles, I saw one person say, "Will it be a Far Cry game?" And I think it will be, but who knows?
So here's my thing with it. If this game was in development before and they just put the Far Cry name on it to give it some cachet, if you will, it will come out. But if this was like just a Far Cry game that they started up after 4, I think it gets delayed.
I don't know. Far Cry 4 seemed to, like, if I remember correctly, I might not be, but it seemed to get announced like right before it came out, like similar to this. And I mean, it came out on time, I think, right?
I have no idea. I'm really not that into Far Cry games. Although
Far Cry
everybody
4
says
was
they're
pretty
awesome.
fun. It was pretty fun.
I guess I've never played a Far Cry game, but I do like the idea that they're trying something new with their IP. Like, I feel like they'd be keeping the basic ideas behind it, but just trying something new and different, and I kind of hope it works out for them.
What worries me about this is it's Ubisoft, so like this could work out great for them, and then they're just going to go back to the old way of doing things. Perfect example, Assassin's Creed 4. Everybody was like, this is awesome, just make pirate games. We're done with Assassins. And guess what? They're all like, yo, we heard you guys want more pirate games, so we made Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah.
And now Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Which is actually getting some good preview reviews.
I never played Unity, but Syndicate looks good.
I heard Unity's good now, but when that game came out, that was a heap and pile of mess. Faces disappearing.
Oh, yeah.
I feel really bad for them because like that was such a specific air with like a certain kind of like video card on PC with a certain driver update.
But that's become the poster card
Yeah, and
for
that's the poster,
glitches.
Yeah.
I do always love hearing things like that, though, because, you know, it's terrible if another game has it, but stuff like that happening in Skyrim is perfectly fine. That wasn't a bug, that was a feature.
Exactly.
But it's like, now whenever I buy a PC game that just came out like yesterday, I have to just go download the beta driver from AMD, because my control center will be like, no, you have the current one. I'm like, no, I want the beta one so I can play this game without it crashing.
PC Master Race my ass, am I right?
Well, I mean, if people would stop trying to, like, force you... I remember a day when you could start up a brand new game and not have to do driver updates. Like, you had to update your drivers twice a year, if that, or once every 2 years even. Like, you didn't have to update your drivers every time a game came out. Nowadays, it's like, oh, we've released this new game. If you have an old graphics card, sucks to be you.
Well, and I hope them waiting till March is evidence of them realizing that PC gamers are willing to wait. Like, they waited for Grand Theft Auto 5, and they rewarded Rockstar by just buying the hell out of that game.
Yeah, as
As long as the port is good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Otherwise, there will
Looking
be
at
riots.
you, WB.
Batman.
I heard
Or
like,
that soccer game.
is that
Oh.
even back up yet? Is Batman back up on Steam?
No, I think it got delayed again.
Jesus Christ. Like, I heard they put out a patch that fixed some of it, but it wasn't like the super fixed patch yet.
Yeah, last I heard, the release of it got delayed again.
I feel
or something.
so bad for that guy who is, like, specifically only a PC gamer, and he's like, I really want to play Batman, please. Por favor. Alright, well, moving on to number 3. The Burnout spiritual successor is coming soon.
I did not hear about this.
Co-founders of Criterion Games, best known for the Burnout games, announced the spiritual successor coming soon. Alex Ward and Fiona Sperry announced via their new studio's Twitter, Three Fields Entertainment, they said that their first game will be a sports game coming in 2016, and that their second game would be a spiritual successor with speed, traffic, and crashing. Lots and lots of crashing.
Good, that's the best part.
We want I want a dedicated crash mode, not some stupid ass Burnout Paradise where it's in the game. No, it's not in the game.
A later tweet clarified, saying Burnout. But a successor to which one? The second, third, or fourth one? Discluding Paradise, so don't worry.
Yes, good.
They specifically did not say that. The last entry in the series was Burnout Paradise, way back in 2008, and was easily one of the weakest installments. Right up there with the first one, which the first one, they didn't know what the game was yet. Like, it didn't have the identity.
I think the third one, what was that, Burnout Revenge?
Oh, that was the best. That's the one I want them to do.
Yeah.
Was that the one that came for you with the Xbox?
Maybe?
That's the one I played. It was pretty fun. I don't know.
Oh, that was the one that had, like, the best crash mode.
Yeah, that's the one I have on the PS2, so...
I like the idea that they are looking at a spiritual successor to it, but they've waited a while, so, like...
Well,
if you haven't played it for a while, it'll somewhat feel new again.
I think it'll be interesting because Need for Speed's coming out with their reboot of the Underground series.
Yeah.
So,
Well, unfortunately, that was the biggest thing. Criterion Games got bought by EA,
yeah.
who owns Need for Speed, and they were all like, well, Need for Speed has way more name recognition behind it than Burnout, so they're all like, listen, you guys are just going to make Need for Speed now, and that's when the two co-founders left, because obviously they still had a passion for this. I'm kind of interested in the sports game, too, because I don't feel like it's going to be an actual sport game. I feel like it's going to be like in the vein of Rocket League, where it's something ridiculous going on.
Yeah.
I can hope so. Of course, I do like the idea, or like the logic behind that of, well, we can't have Need for Speed and Burnout, even though they're two very different games. Like, they're ultimately racing games, but like, there's two very different themes behind them. One's getting the fanciest, nicest looking car, and
The other one's
running.
destroying the shit out of it.
Yeah, like, you can have both. Why did you need to? Yeah, whatever.
I think
It's
they were
EA.
just a better team, probably, than whatever team they had working on Need for Speed at the point. And again,
Well,
they were all
yeah.
like... I mean, at some point there was a little bit of cannibalism. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand with Sony. I mean, they have Gran Turismo, and then they have Drive Club. It's like, why did you start Drive Club up? Like, that makes no sense when you already have Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Especially since Drive Club probably doesn't hold water compared to Gran Turismo.
I want somebody to pick up Pandemic Studios, rest in peace, all their IPs, like Mercenaries, and make a Battlefront from Pandemic's IP version. There you go.
The problem is Disney owns all that now, and they gave the power to EA.
Yeah.
But
Did
maybe
Disney-
not all of their stuff, but they own
Yeah.
the Star Wars brand, so...
Yeah. They could make another Mercenaries though, because they were working on it before Pandemic went under. But
Pandemic, didn't they also do the Time Splitters?
I think they did.
Such a good game.
That would be if somebody could do a sequel or remake of that actually holds true to the series, that would be amazing.
Well, speaking of Sony,
Oh.
PS4 price cuts have hit the US as of yesterday, October 9th.
Good.
It received a $50 price cut in NA territories, and it affects all bundles this holiday. So, like the Nathan Drake bundle, which I feel bad because came out like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and some people bought for like $400, is now $350.
Oh, okay.
That's a big cut. $50.
Yeah, you can buy an extra game. Well, no, you can come close to buying an extra game.
Yeah.
Or if you like buy some great
Skip a meal.
PSN games.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting that they've done this because despite other conversations we've had on the podcast, I truly believe Xbox has a strong exclusive lineup this year, and Sony is really banking on the third parties. So this, I guess, helps them in a way, because like at least they remain on price parity with the Xbox 3.1.
It'll be interesting, yes.
3.1. Okay.
I don't really know. So.
Yeah, it's just kind of a thing of, I mean, it's probably about time that the price dropped a little bit, but
It was selling though. That's the weird thing. Like I feel like this is in complete reaction to the fact that they don't have much as far as exclusives go. Again, they have plenty
Well,
of games coming out.
it's one of those things where, especially with the holiday season right around the corner, and you know you have to basically start planning for the holidays now because that's just the way it is. It's a good way to be like, hey, we cut our price, buy our system for the holidays. It'll be great, you know. It's just generally a good idea.
Yeah, it'll probably end up making them a lot more money.
Yeah.
Over the season at least. So.
Well, because also nowadays it's like a PR thing too. Because if Microsoft cut their price and Sony didn't, they'd be like, "Well, Sony, you trying to gouge us out of more money than
Yeah.
you're already making?" When the other company cut theirs.
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox cut last winter and still got outsold. Like the Xbox One's only outsold the PS4 like 2 months in
Well,
this whole race.
ultimately that's because it's the Xbox One. I mean, we could probably go on and on about
Xbox 2
problem-
coming out 2016.
the problems and failures of the Xbox One.
It's
But
the Xbox One U.
Pretty much.
It's like, look, we've re-added Kinect.
No.
No. Not again. How many times do we have to say this is a bad idea?
We've re-added Kinect. We've dropped all third-party support.
I did watch
they haven't done that
a
already?
video on Microsoft's HoloLens where the dude was fighting aliens
So
in his
cool.
living room, and he had
It
like a
was so
shield, and he
cool.
was like,
I love this augmented. I'm excited about both, but like I'm really interested in augmented reality potential. Cause like, can you imagine a horror game where you're just walking around your own damn house?
no,
Yeah.
so that
I-
gets scared.
I know a few people that wouldn't do it, but I'd be willing to try it.
You get some sort of like PTSD from walking around in your own house. Do it in someone else's house. Do it outside.
Oh God.
That could
With
be
a
worse.
corn
They're gonna
maze.
think you're
Can
on
you imagine if they
PCP.
had it at a corn maze?
Oh God,
That
dude, I'd do that.
That'd be awesome.
I'd run away.
Like
but
it would be really cool because you wouldn't have to. There would be two great things with that. You wouldn't have to hire people to walk around the maze,
yeah.
and two, like, I mean, they wouldn't actually touch you, but they could like actually be like, "Rah!" Because like they're not supposed to touch you in the corn mazes. So
yeah,
I've been touched.
gross.
All right. Well, speaking of Microsoft has bought Havok from Intel, the physics engine, but they will not talk pricing on anything. Like they're just all like, "Yeah, we bought them," and everybody's like, "How much?" And they're like, "We'll still license it out to other developers like Sony, Nintendo if they want it." And they're like, "For how much?" And they're like, "Yeah."
They probably won't say it publicly, but I imagine it has to be listed in like their shareholder report and stuff. So
Yeah.
their shareholders know how much they bought it for, but they probably can't tell anybody that either.
Quote, Microsoft's acquisition of Havok continues our tradition in empowering developers by providing them with the tools to unleash their creativity in the world, the company's corporate article read. We will continue to innovate the benefit of development parties. We will continue to innovate for the benefit of development partners. There we go. Part of this innovation will include building the most complete cloud service, which we've just started to show through games like Crackdown 3. So they want physics in your cloud, which is what the Xbox is really banking on for some extra juice, which apparently with games like Crackdown 3 people have seen it works fairly well. So a couple games that run off the Havok engine now that are pretty popular, just to name a few: Destiny, Mortal Kombat X, Dark Souls 2, and Watch Dogs. I wonder if it had something to do with them, like being all like, "Look at how awesome Watch Dogs looks." Not. Although it's a physics engine, so.
I will be curious to see how that actually works out for other game companies and developers. Like, you know, in the case of Sony, they have a lot of games for their system that run off that. How is that going to work? You know, are they going to have to find a new engine, or?
Well, they're still licensing it out.
I
so.
know, but I mean,
they're gonna break even. Sony owns the patent on Blu-rays, so Sony gets a profit of every Xbox One sold.
Oh.
Does Sony own the patent?
Yep.
Because I thought it was like the Blu-ray consortium. of like 10 companies.
I'm pretty sure Sony has the patent on Blu-rays.
I don't know if it's...
I guess I could be wrong, but I've read
it might
that
not be the
somewhere.
patent for Blu-rays, but I think they've got like the ultimate exclusivity to licensing for having it in a system.
Oh, okay.
So they'd basically be granting Microsoft the ability to use it. I could be wrong on that as well, but I think that'd probably be... I would imagine it wouldn't be the patent.
Yeah, because
but
there's a bunch of other engines out there too, like Frostbite 3 and
yeah.
all that stuff. So
I mean, there's plenty of other options. I'm just curious as to like how they're going to manage it, especially price point wise. Like, you know, are they going to make it exponentially cheaper if they're
if it's
being
for
developed
their
for
in-house
their
people, yeah.
Yeah, for like if it's a game specifically developed for the Xbox One, is going to be exponentially cheaper than somebody making a Sony exclusive, or, you know, that's what I'm curious to see how that's going to play out.
While this is a great show of good faith, and I'm sure they've run the numbers, it probably makes them a lot more money to license it out. But I don't understand why Microsoft keeps spending tons of money on acquiring things like Havoc or Mojang, just to like keep, you know, like, competitors sell our stuff. I mean, we'll sell it to you. It's like at a certain point, like, I wonder. And again, they've had to have run the numbers, they know, but like, I feel like they're losing money. If they made this stuff exclusive to their box, it could make it more appealing in the long run. Especially because they really beat the PC market too, so you still got PC and Xbox.
Well, I mean, in some cases yes, in some cases no. Like with Mojang, it would be a big drop if they tried making anything exclusive. I mean, the reason why that was a good purchase for them is just because the company has such a wide user base and platform base, and just rakes in so much money from people constantly buying Minecraft or other things that they make. So in that case, exclusivity would be problematic, but, you know.
But I'm just saying, like, they drop Minecraft 2. They're all like, Xbox One, Windows exclusive. Little Timmy's going to be asking for an Xbox One for Christmas.
Well, in some ways they almost kind of did that, because they do have the Windows 10 specific version of Minecraft out.
Does that have anything better going on?
I'm not entirely sure. I tried downloading it once, but it was bugging out because Windows 10 was in beta, so I haven't tried it again
Is
since.
that different than the normal PC version?
It works in conjunction with the normal PC version, but it is different than the normal PC version.
Huh. I don't know what they're going to do for Minecraft 2, because like, they're constantly releasing snapshots with more stuff.
Honestly, I don't think they're going to do a Minecraft 2, but I'm just saying, I think Minecraft has enough weight behind it where people would buy Xboxes to play Minecraft 2.
But
Yeah.
there would also be millions upon millions of people who would be inevitably ticked
Yeah.
if...
PR disaster.
Honestly, yes. There would be more backlash and trouble than it'd be worth for the income they'd make for
But
exclusive.
isn't Minecraft only on Xbox and PC right now?
No, it's on everything.
It's
but Wii U.
But Wii U, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was on PS4. Okay.
It's on PS4.
Which sucks,
It's
'cause
on.
it'd be fun for on the Wii U.
It's on the
would be.
Vita even.
Yeah. Didn't they even make one for like the 3DS or something?
I don't think they made it.
There's one on the phone.
There's one on
Yeah.
the phone.
Yeah,
There's one
Pocket
on
Edition.
iPad.
Yeah, they basically, if there's a platform that they can throw Minecraft on, they've thrown Minecraft on it. So, like, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on. CD Projekt Red's next game, Cyberpunk 2077, will be even bigger than The Witcher 3.
I need to borrow that from you.
Word comes way of visual artist Jose Teixeira saying, quote, Cyberpunk is far bigger than anything else CD Projekt Red has ever done before. Far, far bigger. We're really stepping into the unknown in terms of complexity, size, and problems we encounter. If anything, working on Witcher 3 was a very good and often brutal learning experience. Cyberpunk is going to benefit greatly from it. I can almost guarantee it. I have a lot of things that I want to change and do better next time around, and I can guarantee that almost everyone in the studio has something that they go, I did this time, next time I can do it differently. I can do it better, end quote. Blech. Witcher 3 is already mind-numbingly big. I think there's too many open world games coming out these days to keep up
I
with.
like open world games, so I'll play it, because I do like that futuristic cyberpunk setting too.
As long as their additional content isn't mostly just, like, filler content that really didn't need to be there to begin with, then it should be fine for the demographic they're going for. But
Now, has this studio ever done a future setting game?
I mean, I have no idea.
I have no idea
The first
either.
game I played by them was Witcher 3, so...
I played Witcher 2 and Witcher, so I'm not sure of any. I don't know any other games that they've made off the top of my head.
well, I mean, even if not, it's I think it'd probably be good for them to explore the design space, try something new,
Yeah.
and I hope it works out for them. But like I said, if they double the size of the game and just add a bunch of filler quests or repetitive things that nobody's going to want to play, then
Exactly. As long as they're just not like, hey, we're making big games, look how big our game is, and then when you play it, half of it is just random crap
based
that
off
makes
what they-
nothing, that does nothing.
Based
so.
off what I've played of The Witcher so far, I don't...
Yeah, no, that's what
I
I
feel
mean,
like
they-
they're not going to.
it wasn't the
They would... Like, I will give them the benefit of the doubt until they prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I don't remember the game, and I don't think it was The Witcher, but there was one game where you had like demonic portals or something you had to close, so there's like 10 of them on the map, you went and closed them, and then like, oh yeah, now you have to go do that 100 more times. Like, as long as they don't do something like that, I think they'll be fine.
wasn't Oblivion, was it?
No. No.
Rift.
I actually did not mind that game.
I actually kind of want to boot that game up again, because I think they're coming out with another expansion for it.
Are the expansions still free, or do you
I think
have to
so,
buy
yeah.
those?
No, I think the entire game is just free to play,
Ooh,
which is
it's
amazing.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
They did it right. I have played their free-to-play model back before any expansion, though, so...
Well, no, even the last expansion I think was completely free. Because,
Cool.
like, I think Rift itself, you can, even if you don't have an account, unless they changed it, I think you can just download the game on Steam and start playing.
All right.
So.
Well, our final bit of news this week, Star Wars Battlefront won't have microtransactions. I didn't look up any more information. That's... Somebody said it. We'll take their word for it. Well, I hope.
Basically, what they're talking about with microtransactions is microtransactions. I believe what it was to get credits. To get credits, you gotta play the game.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah, because there's two currencies in it. There's a point system
Yeah,
and
your
then
points
a
for your
currency
levels
system.
and then the
But
credits,
yeah, the
yeah.
points are your levels. So like in the beta right now,
Yeah.
which we're going. Okay, we'll transfer over to our first topic, which is the Battlefront beta. The points, like you said, are your levels. So like you have to be. When you level up, you get a point,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
unlocks everything in a certain tier, and then you have to spend credits to get it. And then you can equip it to whatever slot you want, just because Matt just loves loadout-based shooters. Loves them.
I don't mind loadout-based shooters, but if you're gonna call yourself Battlefront, God, I do this every fucking time.
So do I.
Battlefield,
Front.
front, thank you. I do like classes. Now you can have customization within a class. Like if you're the sniper, you can give them fucking 10 different sniper rifles,
So in other words, you want a...
or a bunch of assault rifles, bunch of heavy weapons. But I would like a dedicated class system.
So in other words, you want it to be more like TF2, where you have the independent classes, but each one has different weapons and things you can switch out and customize and do like that.
Yeah.
But here's the problem that I will say straight from the beginning is everybody's like, oh, this isn't Battlefront, this isn't Battlefront. They never said it was going to be Battlefront. They said when they announced, they're like, this is our game. This isn't going to be the Battlefront you want. In fact, the third-person mode wasn't originally going to be in the game. They added that as like a, okay, here you guys go, since you want this so bad.
And I get the fact that they said that from the beginning, but the problem I have with it is that's stupid. Like, if you want to build your own Star Wars game that isn't Battlefront, don't call it Battlefront.
That's what one person on the forums, the EA forums, was saying is, if it was called something different, not Battlefront, none of these gripes would be people's gripes.
Because let's face it, ever since Battlefront, the fact that people realized that there was a Battlefront 3, I think that one was
After that
even
leaked alpha
almost
footage.
in completion. People want to play an actual Battlefront game. They don't want to play a variation thereof or somebody else's interpretation of it. They want to play a Battlefront game. And that's the problem I have and a lot of other people have with it is...
But is
Yeah.
that fair? Like, yeah, they made the choice, so like I understand the criticism. But is it fair to really hold the problem? Like Matt said, these problems only exist because it's called Battlefront. Is that fair? That doesn't, like, if it's a good game, just enjoy the game. Like, yeah, it sucks that it's called Battlefront and you wanted Battlefront a proper Battlefront 3, but
It-
the fact is, you didn't get it.
The problem is not everybody's going to be up on the new. I mean, I know a lot of people who play games are going to be on the internet and reading all these articles and looking at that, but there's still going to be some expectation for some of the people that might not keep up with it as much. When they hear that a new Battlefront's coming out, they're going to be like, oh, I liked Battlefront 1 and 2, that will be great. And then they look at it and like, oh, well, this isn't like those two. I mean, yeah, I guess it's fun, but this
Well,
isn't what I was wanting.
It depends on what you took away, what you viewed, like, after you played Battlefront 1 and 2 as a Battlefront game.
Yeah.
Because if you found, like, if you thought of a Battlefront game as, like, a class-based shooter, then that's not really what it is now. But if you thought of it like you're kind of a nameless soldier fighting other nameless soldiers over objectives, which is what pretty much I wanted,
Yeah.
then you got that, exactly.
Yeah, and like,
Yeah.
you'll hear me in this podcast and talking online and stuff, complaining about it, but in the end, I'll buy the game.
Yeah.
The graphics were great, sound design was great.
Oh,
I had fun with
let's
it.
talk about that. Like, I'm playing on PS4. I'm not even playing on a PC.
Dude, the
Which I've
graphics are
watched
so
videos of like a
good.
4K PC.
Like,
on
I'm
that
playing.
game. Oh my god! But even the PS4 version, I was
It's
sitting there
the best
when it was
looking
loading
PS4
up.
game.
When it was loading up, when I first did the drop mission, I was
Mhm.
sitting there like, "Ooh, that doesn't look very good." And then the loading screen got done, and it's just like, shoom, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Oh my god, this is one of the best looking games I've seen ever."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
let
like-
alone on a PS4, just
like
ever.
my PC runs everything is running it on low graphics, and it still looks amazing.
And the sound is perfect, especially like the Hoth, where you're like listening to the walkers and even just like walking on the snow. It sounds just like it sounds like Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Excellent.
No, it's fun. I guess I have two big problems with it. And one, I'm assuming will get fixed. I don't think the Rebels can win in Hoth.
I've had
I just got fucking ass raped
I don't
before I
think they
came
can
over.
win.
I've been reading this, and yeah, there definitely is Empire bias. Me personally, I've had the Rebels win, regardless of what side I'm on, more than the Empire.
Really? I played like 15 matches and then the Rebels never won.
Ugh, well,
They got close one time
we had a
to
match.
killing a Walker.
We had a match when the first match I ever won as a Rebel. They got to the first point. We had like 10
Jesus.
Y-wings saved up. They went in, did their run. We killed one and had another one down to half health, and then got it on the second checkpoint.
Jeez.
Like, if you have some well-timed, and then like the first time I lost as the Empire, because I won with the Empire once or twice before I lost with them. The first time I lost with them, the shields went down. I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll just kill the guys, no biggie. I just hear, orbital strike, orbital strike has been called, and the walkers are donk. It just fell right over. Like, that orbital strike is ridiculous. Also, I watched a video. They did it on the first one, both of them. They dropped it, and these two guys were sitting on snow speeders, and they just both popped their snow speeders the minute they went down, wrapped them up, and just brought them down.
One person was like, this was completely nothing with gameplay. It was just like a logical canon sense. The AT-ATs are trying to destroy the shield generator, but you can call in orbital strikes through the shield protecting the planet.
Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense. Definitely, the Empire does have a lot of advantages, though. Like, when the Empire, like, if you have a decent Empire team, like, if the teams are evenly skilled, I don't see why the Empire loses. Because they've got vehicle superiority, just...
Where they spawn seems to be like better to attack the
Yeah.
relays rather
Yeah.
than uploading him.
Well, and that's an interesting thing with the game, is, like, I found you were too close to the objectives in Walker mode, but on the escape pod mode, I felt like sometimes they'd put you way too far away. And I know you can spawn on your teammate, but I don't like doing that half the time, because usually when my team's stupid. I typically finish like top 2 or 3 of my team, like somewhere in there. I'm usually not first, but
And speaking of teammates, like the partner system, I wish it was more of a squad system, like 3 or 4 guys in a group that you could spawn
Yeah.
on instead of one person.
I wish they would do that more. They
well, you
kinda
can
took-
toggle between people to spawn on. On PlayStation, it's R1?
No, I guess you
Okay,
can
and
do
do
that
that?
on PC too with
I
my
didn't
controller.
know.
But
I was only pressing triangle to spawn on whatever partner it
yeah,
gave
I was
me.
pressing Y. I was like, yep, partner, okay.
Well, and that's another thing I'm confused. Like, sometimes it's just not there. That option
Well,
is
if
just
they're
not
dead.
there.
If they're dead.
That just... Okay, maybe it is only one person then. I mean, I only would hit it
Either
a couple
that or your
times,
entire team is just completely dead.
It
and
is
they all
completely
suck.
possible. That the first time I lost in the game, I was doing the drop mode because I did that first because the beta suggests it's like, hey, you should level up a little bit before you do walker assault.
Yeah,
So I was
that's
like,
what I
okay.
did too.
So I was doing that. I won the first game, lost like every other pod drop from there on out. My team would just be like, they'd be like fighting over here, and I'm like, guys, the pod's over here. We need to go get it. And I'd go over there. I'd kill a couple guys, and then just end up getting killed. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like,
Yeah, one suggestion on the forums was at the end where the awards take the most kills and swap it with most objective, because to win the match you have to get the objectives, whether it be the pods or the
well,
uplinks.
there is the
and
award, most objective points.
Yeah, most objectives are like on the two sides, and then most kills.
Most
in the
kills
middle.
in the middle. They should switch one of them.
Then.
Yeah,
that's
that'd
what
be-
he's saying.
Because
Although every
everyone-
time I played it, my face is up there all 3 times. Pretty good at it, not gonna lie. Except for the first game. I had the opposite experience of you. Matt and I were just running around looking at the pretty graphics the first game, so we
Well,
lost.
maybe that's my problem. Maybe I just got unfortunate with, I got a bunch of people being like, wow, this game looks
we were like
so
jumping down the
good.
tar holes and like, whoa.
Either that,
I
or
was
you got like
frickin-
all of the World of Warcraft PvPers who play Alterac Valley and just fight in the middle instead of actually trying to cap any of the bunkers.
I love it when their whole team, like you have a drop pod and you're sitting on it and your team's there defending, and they all run down the canyon. None of them come from the sides. They all run down the canyon, and you're like, oh yeah.
Well, it's like on Hoth, I got in one of the infantry turrets, not the satellite vehicle turrets.
Mm.
And there's this one turret that aims right at one of the walkways into the hangar, and like the whole team just came out, and I was just like pew 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 pew, and like one guy finally went outside the base a different way and like blew up my turret, but I was just like, this is I feel bad for them.
I wouldn't.
And I haven't had as many problems as Matt was talking about earlier when we talked before the podcast, but something he brought up is spawn camping. It's kind of an issue in this
Oh
game.
my god.
They need to do something about where you spawn. Maybe like, like in that mountain, carve like a door or something and make it so like you can't hit me in there. But then again, that would just funnel people. Like,
Or like one was suggesting the squad shields, have everybody spawn at specific points, like where you could pick a point, but have a shield over it where enemy can't go inside it and you can't fire into it or fire
Or
out of it.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Because what I ran into was like, I'll spawn as a rebel and there will be an ATST standing in my spawn zone just destroying everybody the instant they spawn.
Well, I guess you'd have a little bit more time to react, but it would be kind of weird if you couldn't shoot out of the bubble, just because then people...
Well,
you just have an army of people standing there waiting to kill
Well,
you.
right now with the squad shield and your personal shield, you can't shoot out of it.
maybe like a 5 to 10 second invulnerability.
Maybe, yeah.
Vulnerability frames. Oh, yeah.
Also, heroes are underpowered.
Yes, crazy underpowered.
I never got one.
First time I fought I was sitting there. I saw Luke Skywalker spawned like right in front of me. I backed up, threw a thermal detonator, and he just went blat and died. And I was like, woo!
Really, the first time I saw a hero, it was Darth Vader, and he was walking towards me, and I shoot him, and he was just doing this, and I was like, I've almost got him, and then he just chokes me to death. I was like, no.
Well, that's the thing. Even though like they're blocking, they don't do a very good job. Like, I do like that they can, like, a common soldier can at least hold their own, but it's definitely kind of silly when just one can take you down.
Because it's like
Yeah.
what the rebels will do with Darth Vader is they'll jetpack over him and just shoot him in the back and kill him.
And the problem I have, too, I got Darth Vader once, choked a guy out, and then their Luke Skywalker was right there. And I tried attacking him, but he kept just, like, pushing me back, and then attacking me. Like, he would attack me while pushing me back, so, like, I'd take damage, get knocked back, and, like, he just stunned me, like, there. So I was, like, jerking, like, just back and forth, and I couldn't do anything and just died. I was like, they need to have something a little more understandable to it.
Like in the full game, I know on the website it says there's also Boba Fett you can play as, and that said many more in the full game, but it didn't explain who else is going to be in the game. Han Solo is, because you can get his blaster as DLC when you buy digital deluxe edition.
Han Solo's blaster, only $12.99.
But yeah, my only real other problem with the game was I didn't see it. Maybe it will be in the full game, but is there a way to change your loadout mid map?
No, not mid-map.
That's a problem. I think loadouts are perfectly fine if you can choose one and save it,
Or,
and
or
kind of
at
make
least
your
like
own
have an
class.
option where you have like 3
Yeah,
set
where
up
you
that
can change your
choose
own
from.
class, and then make your own class.
Yeah, make
system.
your own class.
I think that would be fine,
And,
then
like,
they could add that too. I think.
Also,
Yeah.
the fact that I had to get a pickup to get a rocket launcher was stupid.
Yeah, the rocket.
And it's a
launchers.
random pickup.
Yeah.
Like, I was getting proximity mines when
I
I
get
needed
those
the
all the
pickup
time.
and all that crap.
Yeah.
The rocket launcher. But also the cycler rifle, the slug thrower, it's like, why make a sniper rifle a card that has a 7-second cooldown instead of just...
Yeah, I think it's
a
just to like, I don't know.
I feel like actually I haven't had a chance to play it, but I feel like that's one of the biggest problems I've heard with the game is the whole pickup system. Like it's just too random.
It is very disappointing. Well, and just in general, it's very disappointing that like you pick up a spaceship power up and then get in your ship. I wish there was hangars.
Yeah,
See, and that-
Especially because like DICE knows how to do it. Battlefield 4, all the vehicles are just laying out in the map. Why
That's
can't
true.
they just lay
That's
them out in the
true.
map?
yeah.
I think the biggest problem is like they didn't know how it would work because the vehicles can be pretty easily destroyed by soldiers.
Good.
So they're thinking like maybe
It does
they could
protect
be
them.
camped. But what
And
they
it's
could
like-
do is add like at the hangars that you actually have to choose and spawn on with a certain amount of vehicles for each side, so that they
and then
they
have
wouldn't be
the
camped.
shield in the
Yeah.
door that you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that would be a better way.
And
of
have
doing
like
it, but-
the like land speeders for rebels and the walkers for the Imperials and stuff like that. One person suggested either make vehicles invulnerable unless someone's in them, or like the enemy team can take your vehicles. You're playing a war game. That can happen.
Yeah.
Because actually, that was the most fun I had in like Battlefront 2 was just flying over to the enemy ship and then
And
blowing
them
up,
all up.
or blowing them all up, or blowing up my ship and then stealing theirs.
Oh yeah.
My biggest complaint with the vehicles, they're just too fast.
You can slow them down.
Especially like in the sky though. I'm just saying, like in the sky, like we're just zipping by each other trying to have a dogfight, and usually like 90% of my dogfights end up with just us crashing into each other.
Now,
Oh,
granted, there
I was
is
good at
there
it.
is an air supremacy mode that is.
I mean, maybe I do need to get better, but that's a
airships.
complaint I've seen. It's just like
Well, you can
it's too
you can
fast.
control it to make it go really slow. If you pull back on the
Right.
left stick,
Okay.
you'll go really slow, and then they'll just fly past you. And you
Maybe
just-
like a tutorial mode. Has anybody played the mission mode? Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
played
stuff.
mission.
I haven't done that yet.
All it is a wave system.
and it
Right.
only goes to 5 right now. 'cause
Right,
of beta.
okay.
But also, speaking of tutorials, it says in full game there's a tutorial mode and
Yeah.
there's also
Good.
co-op mode.
I think the tutorial mode will go a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because just knowing how to do, because like right now you kind of just have to figure it out. Like,
Also,
I mean, I didn't know like with the snow speeders, for example. Like I got in one earlier, and the shields weren't down, but I'm thinking, oh, I can just rope this motherfucker and bring it down. Let's do this. And I'm sitting there like, how do I do it? Like it never, like nothing explained it to you that like you can't
Unless
attach your
the-
cables unless the shields are down.
Yeah, and it's like also I found out online that I didn't know you could do an instant cooldown for your gun if you hit it within the gold section.
Oh yeah, the
The
active reload.
Active reload, yeah. I was hitting square like when it would pop up and the dude's like, my hand, and like I had to sit there. I didn't because
Yeah,
it doesn't
I-
explain that you hit it within the gold.
I think that's fine though, because it's a beta.
Yeah,
It's not a demo.
Yeah.
It is a beta, and a lot of these problems, if they're not even fixed at launch, because this game's coming out pretty soon, I'm still gonna buy it.
November, yeah.
And a lot of them, I feel like, will at least be changed with patches after the game
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah.
And like the vehicles are already in the game. So and DICE has been known to rewrite code and do a lot of things with their multiplayers after the game is
Oh, yeah.
launched. So,
I don't
so-
think they're going to ignore some
so-
of these big complaints, but I just don't hold your breath for it getting fixed in a month.
Yeah,
Well,
so
Yeah, no, it's
especially for
if they wanted to, since the vehicles are already there, they could be like, okay, we're not doing vehicle tokens anymore. We're just going to put them on the map.
especially since they already have a lot of the coding for that basically done. I mean, a lot of the physics and things they can pull from their other games, and I think even in the earlier trailers they had a similar what we're talking about type vehicle system where the vehicles already existed and you could jump in them, do stuff, go
And,
back.
like-
So I mean, the coding is technically there. It probably wouldn't be as bad as some people might think.
And like what some people online were saying was get rid of the 5-second intro cutscene when you're flying an airplane or entering as a hero, because ace pilots on the other team, will see you enter, but for 5 seconds you can't move, so they'll kill you before you can move your aircraft.
They should get rid of that, because the first time I got it, I was like, I can't move, and I thought I was going to crash right in the ground, and I was like, oh, that was way too long.
Yeah.
My bigger complaint with the heroes, more so than just the intro, is the fact that it puts you at a random-ass spot in the map. Like, I picked up Vader, and, like, I saw, like, 5 guys, I'm like, hell yeah! Click it, there's 1 guy in a Luke. I'm like, well, I didn't want this! I wanted those 5 helpless soldiers that I was just gonna toss my lightsaber at and kill them all in one go.
Yeah.
Force run.
Another complaint I've been reading about this game, and I'm interested to hear, is a lot of people are not a big fan of the time to kill. But what's funny is these same people I see, because I follow specific forums and
The
stuff.
time to kill?
Yeah. Wait, how long it takes to kill somebody.
Oh.
You know, like shooting them.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. These same people that are complaining that it's too quick, play Destiny.
It's way quicker in Destiny.
I'm like, so you would rather just run around one-shotting each other all day long than...
Now, granted, with some of the blaster rifles, like, I'll get a kill and it'll say headshot, but it'll take me, like, half of my cooldown to kill them, even though I'm shooting them in the head. Like, the cycler rifle will be a one-shot.
Yeah, the
but...
cycler rifle's 1 shot. I think the blaster's like 3. 3 shots in the head and they're dead.
I think a lot of that, I mean, I like the fact that they're doing basically a public beta. A lot of people are trying it out, because I feel like a lot of that stuff is just a lot of balancing
it
tweaks and
is.
issues.
Well, that's what a lot of it is. Too.
Yeah, so
And it was also a attack our servers. That I'll give them this. These servers are working great.
Oh, yeah.
They're holding up. Like
Yeah.
they don't. Their last big game was Battlefield 4, which was a mess when it launched. And considering this game, like at least Battlefield 4 had a single player, this game doesn't. This game has to work out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, maybe between their experience with that and they finally looked at every time Blizzard does anything, maybe they're finally getting the idea that they should make sure they have plenty of server capacity.
And like
Blizzard's had some problems recently. Warlords wasn't great.
Every time Blizzard releases an expansion or a game, the servers don't
The
work.
servers never work.
Like,
They're like, oh, we didn't expect this many people to play it. You're an idiot. This game's been out 11 years.
it's like, we didn't expect this many people to play it. Okay, it's like with Diablo. You've had people clamoring at the bit because you said you were releasing a new Diablo game. How could you not imagine that? Look at the popularity of 2.
They were trying to hide Jay Wilson.
Yeah.
Have you guys gotten the in-game survey to pop up?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, I got it pop up twice too. Once I rated it a 10 because it was my first impression. Then thinking about some stuff, I did rate it, I think, a 6.
I put it at an 8 both times.
And then it's like, why did you rate it a 6? I said, I didn't like how vehicles gameplay worked out. I didn't like the power-up tokens, and I didn't like vehicle tokens.
I wish is there like an actual, like I know you can go talk on the forums, but is there like an actual like, hey, send us your feedback?
That
forum?
is the forums. There's a specific thread for beta feedback. There's
Okay.
bug feedback.
So you have to do it on the forums.
You have to do it on the
I
forums,
wanted
yeah.
to just send it straight to them.
Yeah.
That is
I
always
don't want people making fun of me on the internet. I'm sensitive.
that is always fun of testing a Blizzard game. They just have the feedback tool, so every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
This sucks. This sucks. This was actually okay, but this sucks.
So another thing I'm kind of nervous about with this game, and this is a lot of, especially like loadout shooters in general, is I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get this game right away. I'll be able to get it pretty quickly, but I'm not sure I'll get it right away. I'll probably wait. I'll probably try to get it for my birthday or something,
Then
which
everyone
is
will
just a
have the
couple
best
weeks after.
guns and you'll be
Everybody's
starting.
going to have all the good stuff, and kind of a point to that is, you get the first DLC for free if you get the game by December 1st. Why is it so short? Like, if you're giving it to some people for free, just give that first one away for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of bums me out. But,
Let's
I
be-
mean, the loadout thing, like, that's just a gripe, but, like, that can be said for most shooters.
But also a loadout thing. If the rebels or the Imperials want to use each other's side's weapons, they should have to pay a lot of credits for that. Because why should the rebels be running around with the Empire's machine gun or blaster rifles?
You know what? I don't even think they should be allowed to buy it. I think it should drop. Like, if you kill somebody, and then you can
Yeah.
go pick up their weapon.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna go to a drop system, just put ammo in the game.
I'm fine without
Yeah,
ammo right now.
I like
Yeah.
how it is.
Cause like,
Me too.
or a secondary weapon like a pistol I could switch to. Because when my cooldown hits up and there's like 5 dudes, I would much rather switch to my pistol and have a chance to kill them than have them just be like, oh crap, cooldown, and run away.
Yeah, that seems like a serious flaw.
Like, granted, I could hit the active reload and have a chance, but it's still like I gotta wait 3 seconds.
Because I feel like that, if anything, that is a staple of a shooter. At least having a backup plan. You know, at least as far as like a small pistol or something, it might not do as much damage, but you should still have something.
Yeah. The card thing is pretty fine. I thought the one-shot cycler rifle was fine, rather than just having it
I've
as
never
a weapon.
one-shot somebody with that damn thing. They
Really?
always somehow live. I'm just like,
Gotta
What?
shoot him in the head.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
chest shot will do 90 damage.
okay, I
and
must,
then a headshot will do
I must be
100.
like hitting them in the neck then.
yeah, if you hit him at all anywhere besides the
But
head,
point
you need
blank,
to shoot him again.
If you hit him point blank anywhere, chest hip firing it, you kill him. Like, the hip fire accuracy on that thing is ridiculous.
Pro tip: if you're rebels on Hoth, ion weaponry. You want that
Yeah.
the ion thing, so if those shields go down, you can just take them out. But yeah. So just real quick to close out Battlefront, yay or nay? I'm a yay.
Yay.
I'll buy it, but I'll wait to see what all is released, how that
You want to see the
plays
full
out.
package?
I want to see the
Yeah.
full package.
And despite my criticisms, it does look like a really good game, but I probably won't be a day one adopter. It'll be sometime down the line.
All right.
I'm getting it.
Me too.
I thought it was really fun, so.
I was especially how skeptical I was going into it. I was.
Yeah.
It
Taken
is a
aback.
fun beta. It is a fun beta. I will give it that.
Okay, so I need you guys to help me. We need a week 3 challenge for the Mario Maker Facebook group.
Week 3 challenge.
We have done only used the first game's engine, and we've done underwater level.
Yeah, I saw a GIF of a level where it's called P is for Pain. I don't know if you guys saw. I think you linked it, didn't you?
Yeah, is that the
It's where you have to get on the POW block or the
the POW block and like do
You-
everything?
you have to bounce it or you die. So like maybe a bounce level. I don't know.
Either with a key and a shell or
That would be too hard. That one was way too crazy.
Let's do this. Make a interesting level involving P switches.
Yeah.
there you go.
Let's just do that.
Just P switches.
I mean, it doesn't have to just be P switches, but
No,
incorporate
have
the
a
use.
P switch.
Yeah, incorporate the use of the P switch. Make it a main part of the level.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get that on the page. And with that, that is an episode of NIBScast. NIBScast is a product of NIBSmedia. If you've liked what you've just listened to, go ahead and subscribe to us on the YouTube channel you're currently listening to us on. Head over to Facebook, like NIBSmedia. Just like it. We did not have time for emails today. Probably didn't have any. But if you wanted to email the show, Derek, where could you email us?
NIBScast@gmail.com.
That is right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will see you guys next week. I'm Aaron Lamping.
I'm Matt Slade.
I'm Josh.
I'm Derek.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god!
We so horny.
Good old Audacity.